Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to the channel. We're doing another video on Project Anglia. This is now episode 1, where I've actually been doing some work, although I haven't been doing that much work recently. This video has taken about a month and a bit to get out. The last video was back in January. I've been working on a few other train sim projects as well as this, so this is briefly taken a backseat through February. So I've done a substantial amount of work, but there's been other things that I've been doing as well. So we're just driving through the bit that I've been working on since the last video. The last video was more the work I was doing further up the route, but I've been working from near the start of phase 1. I'm not quite linked up. There's still a bit between Arch and Rainstone Parkway and Edenwood that I haven't done the scenery on, so that's got to be done currently. But this is a lot of nothingness going on. There is a station coming up. We pass a little village further down. There's a station just off this corner, and then off this station you'll see a line that branched off to the right. So that I have changed. We'll go through that later of what I changed there. There was a lot of track work there, and none of it really, well, some of it wasn't working and looking right. It didn't function as well as I'd hoped, so I've just sort of changed that around and deleted a bit. That's the only track work that I've done. All the rest of it I've been working on is scenery, so you can see there's a fair amount of scenery that I've done. I have a level crossing here. I need to do some more electrification work. You can see the wires are all here, but in some places they're a bit broken. The pantograph loses contact and the point works a bit funny. So we got a completely different bit to where we started. Where we started is all just sort of trees, and there's some bits like here where it sort of opens out and you get a nice view. There's a lake over there off to the right you can just see between the hills. I've been working on some terrain as well, because a lot of the route in terms of track work is pretty flat. I have implemented some more hills, or sorts of changes in gradient of the track work further up the route, but when I'm working on routes I'm always finding new tools and new techniques to get the scenery to work well, so I didn't know how to match the scenery up to the track, the terrain, but I found that tool now, and so once I found it, it was pretty easy to do. So just after this crossover here, the scenery will sort of open out a bit, will go into more fields, and this will be what you recognise from episode 0. This is sort of the first bit that that video was set in, or on. I haven't done any work further up. It's all been sort of further back, but we'll have another look at this. Some more. I did a bit of work on this, not a lot. I certainly do some of the distant scenery. So I've been travelling at around about 100 miles an hour for most of this, but the speed limit goes down to 85 over the approaching bridge over the river. And then after the next station, which is Arch and Rainstone Parkway, that's sort of where the scenery takes a break, so not much to show off that, so we'll go and have a look at all of that from the route editor, or just outside, have a look. So this is where the speed goes down to 85 over this bridge. There you go, with another line down there, if you can see. I need to put fences around that. And back up to 100. So, you've all seen this bit before, so there's no point covering this again. So I'm going to go out into the route editor and just go outside. I might just do a fly around for you so you don't get all the pop-ups. This is our Wootton Rainstone Parkway station here. This is where the scenery ends. So let's take a look outside and take a look at what I've done. So now just in the fly around view, having a look, this is where the scenery starts in this area. So you didn't see this area while I was driving along the line because there wasn't really much here other than that. So just some terrace housing, and then you've got a footbridge. A nice view of that banner repeater there, which is for the signal into the goods loop. So if I just go over there now, let me just show you where this is on the map. It's pretty much at the start of phase 1, it's over here. You can see that's that point work there on the signal, which if I come out you can see that's there. So we're fairly near the start of phase 1. Phase 1 starts here at this station. So, for freight trains there isn't really anywhere for them to start because that station doesn't really have a crew change there. And if you go up you just see there's nothing really to start at. So, I just put in this goods loop. And I've got an access road to the side of it and there's a dual carriageway here so you can't see the cars going past. I made it quite long just to make sure any freight train would fit in there. I've probably made it a bit too long, but it's all in place now and the scenes are built around it, so there's some kind of access room. Now what's in there, just need to break from the trees and the grass. Put a freight line around here. That was from an old UKTS freeway pack that. Oh, that grass is interesting. So I like doing these videos because I'm flying around and I find issues with the route. So anyway, this is the line going up towards the other end. Just got some fields, put some solar panels in that one, just have a break. Distant scenery is as per usual non-existent. I will eventually get onto that if it's necessary. I like to have some distant scenery here. Then you just got some fields, some more solar panels. There's a little footpath alongside the track there to the left, and if you follow that around that goes to the foot crossing with the train spotter on it. I've sprinkled a few of these train spotters around, so when this route's out you can have a look at it, see if you can find them all. I don't know how many there are, I'll have to have a count. And this is an unnamed village. It doesn't have a station, so I haven't really given it a name. I could think of a name, but is it worth it? If I have a bit of free time, I'll think of an idea there as well. Unfinished over here, but I will work on that. And even further up, you just got some woodland and some fields, and then the next village, which is where Sailing Station is. This village was pretty easy to do. This station's been completely changed. There was a footbridge there that just went off into this embankment because the embankment didn't have any trees on it. But I decided I didn't like that, so I've replaced it with this road bridge set with just some stairs coming down, which look quite nice. It's only a little station, as you can see there's some ticket machines up there, it's not really a station building. And then you've got these houses. These houses are just some Just Trains asset, I think. There's a block of 5 that I just put some fence around to make it look like they're gardens. And just copied those around and it works quite well. So this is those sidings up there as well. I changed the track works. If we go over there, this is all different. So originally I had this sort of recycling terminal, or sort of waste terminal. And it didn't work too well. These sidings here went up there and they're about there. And I just moved them down because the recycling terminal just didn't work. I have a video of me getting rid of that and moving it all around, so I will cut to that now. So this is what it used to look like, and you can see those 3 sidings there, you could only get like 10 wagons in, and the head shunt that was further down by the station here, again, wasn't big enough to support the trains going into it. It's, 20, 30 wagons. So I couldn't figure out a way to make it work, so I just deleted the whole thing. So this is just a time lapse of me getting rid of all of it. I might put in some kind of waste terminal further down the route, somewhere, maybe not phase 2 or phase 3, I don't know. So I just get rid of all the track, but I try and keep this layer, because I do like this track layout. And then I tried to select it and realised you have to delete the markers first, so I just did that. And then it was just a case of moving it and rotating it so it was alongside the track. But because of the curve on that back siding there, it didn't fit, and it didn't fit against the track, so I made it work. Bit of hassle with the big select circle, but I got it to work in the end. So at this point I couldn't figure out how I wanted it to fit, at what angle would make it work, so I got rid of that siding because I don't know why I left that in, I don't need it. And this is just a time lapse of me struggling. Right, I've got it selected again, and just moved it around. Now I didn't realise at this point, when I was undoing all that work to get get it all selected again, I reinstated that siding, so it's got rid of it there. Then it's just a case of making it fit, which was a bit difficult. I had to move around some of the track work. In the end, I managed to eventually move it around in a way that actually worked properly. It is kind of a hassle when you've got extra track work that you've already built, but you haven't built it to fit a certain area. But you just have to keep going with it until it fits. It would probably be easier to just, build a different set of sidings here with new track work, but I just like the way that track work worked, and I knew it all worked. I tested it with a rake of wagons. So the two sidings on the right, if you can see in the time lapse, is a bit quick. The two sidings on the right are the loading sidings, so our train will get split over those two and then loaded from a bunch of ballast piles, not ballast, some kind of stone or aggregate piles on the side. So in the end there, I sort of got it looking nice, and then it was just a matter of doing scenery work and making sure the wagons fit and there wasn't any clipping with the embankment, which I eventually changed around. But anyway, let's move on to further up the route and see what I've been doing there. So moving further on up the route, you've got a level crossing here and then just some industrial area with some farmland on the other side. And then you've got this area which I kind of like, it's just a load of lakes and grass which ends here because you can't see it from the train. So if you can't see it, it doesn't need to be there. And if I made a massive block of it, it would just kill the frame rate, so I just left it at that. But yeah, I've just got sort of 3 lakes there, 2 of which almost connect but don't quite, and then just general farmland with distant trees just so you can't see. Then moving further up, there's another farm crossing down there. I'll have a look at that. You got a tractor on the other side and a guy waiting to phone the signaller. And then it's sort of through this area of trees, some more farmland. I like adding these sort of farmland bits because you don't have to put many assets on it unless you want like cows or hay bales. You can just see through the trees there. And over there it's just a whole lot of nothing. And then at the side, and this is where we were last time. So that's basically what I got up to, so it's not much. This is all what we saw in episode 0. So not much, but I was working on other stuff. I put a swing bridge there. or a lift bridge. Sorry, it doesn't. The asset doesn't fit, but from the railway here, it looks fine. Just because you've got all those ships there, well, not really ships, but boats, and they didn't fit past the bridge. So this is the next area I've got to do. So it just links that block of scenery I've last been working on to over here with the massive lag spike. Massive lag spike, okay. That wasn't the video buffering, don't worry. So the only thing I did over here is, because I got the engineer's yard, and then there's this sort of viaduct they're building over it. So I've made sort of like a factory, got some rails coming out of there and then some cranes that lift the bridges off. So I'm saying inside that factory is where these segments are sort of made, and they're brought up here, and then they're attached as one hanging from that crane there. But yeah, that's about all I got up to. So I did from about there to about here. So a sizable chunk. And then I've just got to get up to there. So hopefully phase 1 will be done relatively soon. I'm getting more and more worried that it's going to be out before the 745 is, in which case scenarios might be a bit difficult, but we'll see about that. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. That's basically all that I've been working on Project Anglia in the last month or so. I've been working on other projects, so I worked on this pack that adds containers to a variety of different wagons. The containers from the AP FSA wagons. That's now available for download. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want that. But hopefully with that done, I'll get a bit more work done on Project Anglia in the next few months, and hopefully episode 2 won't be out in too long, but I have no guarantees. I don't know what I'm going to be working on next. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to put a like on it, subscribe to the channel for more updates on Project Anglia, and I'm hoping this route will be out, well, at least phase 1 will be out in not too long, but I'm not sure. However long it takes me to finish off the rest of the scenery. If I put my mind to it, I can probably get it done relatively soon, but I don't know whether I'll start working on other projects or whether something else will happen and I won't be able to work on it as much, but hopefully that should be good. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!